In the first story, I want to say that family is very important to me. They are no longer with me, and I want to stay close to the family I have left. I, a 35-year-old woman, received my parents' house after they died. My husband and I now live there. It was a place of love and fond memories for both of us after we bought it from my parents while they were still alive. My 29-year-old brother had a rough split a few months ago and needed a place to stay. Of course, I wanted to help in any way I could, so I let him stay in our extra bedroom. For the sake of family, it seemed like the right thing to do. He could get back on his feet while staying in the house where we grew up. It seemed right. It got worse for my brother as the days turned into months, though. He started taking up more and more room, which didn't worry me too much because I'm a new mom and my family needs all of my attention and time right now. But my brother didn't care about that. He wasn't helping with any repairs or living costs. Since he's an adult, you'd think he could at least do his own clothes. He didn't, though. It was always annoying to me how much of a mess he left behind. If I didn't clean up after him, you can bet that the mess would get worse over time. Even though I have a real baby that needs a lot of my attention on its own, I felt like I was mothering this grown man. Anyway, I finally talked to him about his living habits and asked him when he planned to find a new place to live a few weeks ago. The chat did not go at all like we thought it would. He basically said that it was his house too, which it wasn't, except maybe emotionally, and that he should be able to live here however he wants for as long as he wants. I tried to talk my brother out of it by telling him that we had officially bought the house and that he had already gotten his share of the inheritance when our parents died. He wouldn't have any of it, though. When my brother showed up late to my daughter's first birthday party last week, I lost it. I had been making plans for a long time for that big day. The bad news is that my brother messed everything up. The day before, he was able to get into my husband's computer and seemed to have cancelled the event on our RSVP page and put a note on it saying that it had been moved. I didn't even know until my best friend called me in the morning and asked why I had cancelled. I was too busy planning and making everything perfect. That's when I found out what had happened. It was too bad that many of the family members lived hours away. They still hadn't left when I called to let them know that the plans hadn't changed. We could only have a few family and friends at the party because of this. My brother wasn't around, which was a good thing because I would have punched him in the face. I finally had enough and kicked him out of my house. He had a week to move out. My brother didn't like the news, of course. He yelled back at me and said it was clear I didn't respect him because if I did, I would have asked his permission before planning an event at his house. Because he didn't like having his power as a man threatened, he had to do this. He told me I should leave if I didn't like how he runs things around here. This made people fight, and my husband and his brothers kicked my brother and his stuff out. It was gross. I cried myself to sleep, and now I feel terrible about what I did. Am I the jerk? The update is not going well at all. I thought that my brother would get some sense after some consequences, but he keeps calling me mean things and going on and on about how stupid I am on messages. He doesn't seem to have done anything wrong. That being said, I'm done with this kind of behavior. Now that I'm a mom, I have to take care of my own family. My brother will understand how bad he has been and will be willing to help me and talk to him again. He's by himself until then. I believe I understand why his marriage ended. OP, you're not the jerk. He's your brother. He's big. He also tried to help him, but he made you feel bad about it. Your brother is an adult, but his mind is still like a child's. The house was yours, and he got his share of the gifts. The law says the house is yours. Letting him stay there for a while doesn't make it his. I can't believe he messed up the birthday party for your daughter. That guy sounds like a terrible person. I'm glad your husband and his brothers threw him out. OP, you didn't do anything wrong. Your brother is a bad guy who doesn't know what family means. I'm a 21-year-old woman who only eats halal food. I met a new person and am now friends with someone from another country. Let's call her B from my class. A few times recently, we went to dinner with people from our class and some friends we both have. It wasn't halal, but the food at the places we went was great, so that was fine. I just picked out something veggie or seafood from their menu. I guess it's still tasty. B was upset that I didn't eat meat. People get angry over the strangest things, I swear. My friends who we both know recently told me that B has been saying that I don't really eat halal and showing a picture of me eating McDonald's as proof. Now here's the deal. I don't use social media very often. I only post on Instagram once or twice a year. That doesn't mean I don't like doing things. I don't like writing about it. But my friends do. Whenever we do something together, they post it and tag me. You can find a lot of pictures of me on my Instagram if you look there. Friends of mine are crazy about social media. I started using Instagram in 2015. I really don't think I could wait that long to scroll down that far. The picture of me eating McDonald's was taken in 2016 while I was in Singapore with my friends. There are no big fast food chains in Singapore that are not halal. It was clear that B didn't know that. She said she was sorry to me, so someone did tell her. She was rude to talk about me behind my back and accuse me of things I didn't do. But I did listen to her, and I did say that it was amazing that she was able to find that picture, even though it was taken in 2016. Now that she's sorry, my group of friends is split up. Half of them just thought that was funny, and the other half think I made her look even worse after she admitted she was wrong. B did everything she could to find a picture of you not eating halal. She then showed it to everyone behind your back to show that you do eat meat. It turns out she was wrong, though. Even though she said she was sorry, I don't think it's wrong for you to tell her she had to look into your past to make her point. She wanted to hurt your reputation. I can't believe some of your friends find this funny and others think you made a girl who was spreading lies about you look bad. Make sure to keep B away from you from now on. Now for some thoughts. Not the jerk. This woman seems to have earned all the shame she is feeling. Try to show your hypocrisy or whatever her end goal was is way too much of an obsession. And to be honest, it doesn't sound like a very sincere apology. It sounds like she only said sorry to try to make up with the people you both have who told her she was lying. Look, this B talked about you behind your back, and you had no idea. How do you know she hasn't done that before? Why would she try to get other people to believe that you're not halal? She meant well when she lied to your friends about you. She probably tried to find a reason to lie about you to your friends if she scrolled all the way down. Not the jerk. B said she was sorry because she realized she was wrong about the food being halal. That wasn't even the problem with how she behaved. It's already wrong that you called her out for looking through photos from more than 5 years ago just to feel like she had something to say about you behind your back. It wasn't just a little confusion. It was her being mad about something that made her look through your past for proof of whatever she thinks you did wrong. She goes out of her way to make people dislike you. That's something she should be called out on. What she's doing is crazy, and it should make her feel bad. Third story. It was terrible when my sister-in-law lost the baby a few years ago. She quit her job and didn't go anywhere for months. She had been pregnant for about 5 months. I had a loss of pregnancy last month. It didn't bother me that much. I was not aware that I was expecting. It hurt a lot, but I was okay. Anyway, I already have 3 kids. That holiday season, my whole family got together, and my sister-in-law kept trying to get me to talk about it. It was very strange. Some of the things she said to me were, "You must have been so devastated," and I just nodded and tried to change the topic. "Oh, it wasn't that bad," I would say sometimes. But at one point, she told me about a support group for parents who have lost a child and said she would call the head and ask if I could join. I never said I was going to do that. I told her she didn't have to. She kept pushing me and telling me that my mind was cloudy because I was sad. After that, I told her I wasn't that mad about it. I have 3 wonderful children and didn't know I was pregnant. A 4th wasn't needed. She got very angry and told me I didn't care that they might be upsetting other people. She said things about my kids being adopted, which I never said. After that, she started to cry and left. My family mostly agrees with me that she was being too pushy and strange, but my brother-in-law said they won't come to any family events until I say sorry to her. In my family, some people think I should just say sorry to keep the peace. I don't want to say sorry because I think that's stupid. Should I have just gone along with her, though? Should I have said sorry? I know it's really a loss, but she calls it a miscarriage. Change also, she has a child who is 11 years old and twins who are 3 years old that she had after the miscarriage. Last change, I think hers happened in early 2016, so it's been almost 6 years. She also said I didn't bother with her story because she wants to have her own children. Her response was, sure, and a roll of the eyes. Now for some thoughts. Not the jerk. Not the same as my sister, but your sister-in-law sounds a lot like mine. She tries to make me feel a certain way about things that happened more than 20 years ago. It's something she brings up every time we get together, even though I'm over it. She says I'm crazy, heartless, and need therapy when I tell her I want to make new experiences and not live in the past. People should respect each other's feelings and limits. Not everyone should feel the same way. Not the jerk. That sounds like she might be in one of those support groups that don't help at all. When people are upset and having a hard time getting over something, putting them in a group isn't always the best idea. This is especially true online, where it's easier for unhealthy relationships to form in many ways. I know how hard it is to go through a loss or stillbirth. No one should be ashamed to show their grief, but I remember how it felt. I would be happy for someone else if it hurt less. It's very strange and upsetting that she seems to want you to suffer just so she can feel good about herself. If someone really wants to help you, they would be glad that you're okay. She has a problem with that, not you. You don't need to say sorry to her. She owes you one, and it's not your fault that you can't keep the peace. There's nothing wrong with you. She and the other people who are ganging up on you are the ones who are making things worse. Don't let anyone trick you and pick on you to think otherwise.